Hello, everyone, and good evening. This is Bashir Lucas Lukman, and you are welcome again to another episode of the Open Space Discourse, where like minds, intellectual minds comes together to discuss controversial topics, politics, religion, philosophy, and whatever else it is. Um, Today, we are looking at Nigeria, and we are trying to answer the question: Can Nigeria be great again? So we started off with the Nigeria's national anthem. Um, we started off with the Nigerian national anthem, and in it, I think we have some very important words that are worthy of reflection. Uh, the uh, The anthem was composed by Pa Odiase and it was adopted in 1978, which is approximately 44 years ago. So the lyrics goes, it says, Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria call and you obey, and to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. And the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. So serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. And then there is another part of it, a second one that says, O God of creation, direct our noble cause and guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. So when we look at this anthem, it looks as if this is the philosophy of the state. This is the philosophy of the country. This is what the founding fathers of the country wanted, and we probably might look at this anthem and how they are being reflected, how they are reflecting today. For example, the part that says, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. So in our land today, in the nation of called Nigeria today, is there really peace and there is justice reigning? Is justice for one, justice for all? People getting away, with crimes, with others and all that. Is there equality between the poor and the rich when it comes to justice? Are people able to buy their way out when they even commit crimes? Stuff like that. So a nation that is bound in freedom and peace and unity. So the unity that seems to be one of the founding pillars of the country, with thanks or no thanks anyway, to Lord Brigade in 1914, who amalgamated the northern and southern protectorate, and then they call it Nigeria from the Niger area. And then the unity today, I think, is quite been threatened. We have the IPOB in the south east who are clamoring for their state of Biafra, and then we have there in the southwest we have the Oduduwa Nation people who are led by Sunday Igboho and some parts of Afenifere people, and yeah, we have some parts in the north as well, though they are not as solid or as known as the others who are also well, which I think they are just responding, and they're also claiming that they also want to be alone. So we're looking at that unity that we have, and then to serve our fatherland. So, how many people are compatriots? How many people are really patriotic to their country? How many people are ready to serve their fatherland, or what does serving your fatherland entail? How many Nigerians really do have Nigeria at heart? If they do, why? If they do not, then why not? And then that is what brings us to today's edition of our discourse, which is discussing the complexities of Nigeria. Can Nigeria be great again? And the first person we have here today, we have Mufaza Shabazz, who said, There is no place on earth where you can't buy your way out of justice, especially America. Mufaza Shabazz, which I think is Tory Robinson. Tory Robinson is a pan African, African American, if you would let me say that. and I met him in Nigeria, and he has always, been a part of our disco sessions, and I'm looking forward actually to seeing you right in our studio. You have the link here. I'm putting it up again. Um, I'm putting up our link here again. Um, Join our studio. Okay, so sorry, you could come in here. So that's our studio link. You can come in and join us. So we have Ahmed or Laleye, who is the first person to be on our studio today. And inshallah, I am going to start to engage him. And evolutionist Ashraf, well, you don't actually have to be, at the backstage. So leave the comment section, and you come right here into the studio. And we are also waiting on uh, uh, Mr. Benjamin Adebisi is an international individual, a lecturer at the Ocean State University. He is well learned, and he also always has interesting ideas to give to us. So, Mr. Ahmad Olalaya, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir, Mr. Lucas. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. This is your first time on the Open Space Discourse.
Well, this might be my first time of contributing, but I've always been following you, so trying to listen to our people's views.
Oh, great.
So, just
Okay, I am hoping Mufasa Shabastor Robinson, Bernard Davisi, evolutionist Ashraf. I hope I'm not going to be alone with Mr. Ahmed Olaleye in the studio tonight. Okay, so Mr. Ahmed Olaleye, you are welcome. So tonight we are discussing, can Nigeria be great again? And discussing the complexities of Nigeria, looking at the problems, of the challenges, as well as looking at a solution or a way out of what I would call a quagmire to say. So we have Ashraf Blackman right here in the studio. Ashraf, okay. Oh, that is Ashraf Adeyemo, evolutionist black man. Okay, so Ashraf, good evening. Hello. Okay, while Ashraf get his audio right, so Mr. Ahmed Olaleye, so what do you think first off? Do you think Nigeria can be great again? Or was
yeah,
it ever
hello.
great? Because okay, yeah, yeah, hello, yeah. Because when we say can Nigeria be great again, that means it has been great before. So can Nigeria be great again? Or do you even agree that it has at a point in time been great? Maybe our question might be wrong.
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity this evening, at least to give my own contribution to this program. When we say Nigeria, the state of Nigeria, probably to be great again, I think it is a complex statement. So, because I don't know if you understand Yoruba perfectly. In
Mo gbọ́
Yoruba
Yorùbá dáadáa.
language, thank you very much. In Yoruba language, Yoruba people will always say, Amuku eru ewo,
Hmm,
oloke lenwo ewo sale. You know,
hmm,
the problem of Nigeria is very, complicated,
hmm.
that we cannot trace it to a particular root. I
Hmm.
don't know if you are getting it right.
Yes,
And
please, I am.
I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim, and in one of
Okay.
the verses of the Quran, if I may be permitted
Of course, no
to quote
problem.
that,
No problem.
Allah says,
Definitely.
Allah says, I will not change your position. I will not change your, your nature. I will
Hmm,
not change your state, as in
hmm,
your state of being, except if you personally you are ready to make a change.
hmm,
So I've looked into Nigeria as a kind of, a country whereby every one of us, we love to apportion blame to the government. Although the
hmm,
government on their own, they are doing their own part, whether we like
hmm,
it or not. I think 2 days ago, I was with one of my elder brothers. He said something which I reasoned with. He said one of the problems of this country is our constitution.
Hmm.
that the Constitution actually favors some certain parts, which I will not mention anyway. It favors some certain ethnicity, while some people are left behind. You know, in a situation whereby the Constitution favors some set of people and some other people feel cheated, we all know what is actually going to happen. We all know that such environment, such nation, so there's possibility that there won't be peace. I am not praying for that. My prayer is that where we are having problem, God should just come to our rescue and resolve it for us. But I believe that in a nation whereby some set of people feel like we are being cheated, there will be continuous problem, whether we like it or not. And as a matter of fact, when we are trying to compare our country with other countries, I think we are getting it. Nigeria, Nigeria is a multilingual society,
Hmm.
and I believe that we do not have only Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. We have a lot of people. The day I heard that we have some set of people, ethnicity in Nigeria that speaks Arabic, I was surprised. That some
Okay.
people, they are Nigerian and they speak Arabic, and I have
Okay.
never heard of their existence in my life. So you can imagine that these people also will feel cheated in some areas. So I think there is need for us to come to the drawing board and
Hmm.
look at what is actually the problem. Probably
Hmm.
every individual should be given their certain rights before we can always get it right. So that is
Hmm.
why I believe that we cannot have peace in this country. We cannot have, a great country as it used to be, according to the history, according to what we heard, except we are ready to make an amendment. So this is what I can say for now. But let me give my other people a chance to give their own contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Olaleya. Okay, so we have Ashraf Blackman here with us. Okay, somebody just sent me a comment, and I'm asking him to probably just come into the studio. He said you are outside the country already, and you are asking if Nigeria will be great again. So why did you run away? Though I never ran away. Actually, I just responded to him. He said, "Do you realize anybody that left Nigeria actually escaped from Nigeria as a modified refugee?" I said, "Not me, like seeking asylum and not migration. Actually, not me, but well, he has his opinion." So I, I asked him, I asked him to come right there to the studio to tell us what he wants. So we have Ashraf Adiyemo. So Ashraf, now we have a question. Yeah, we
Yeah,
said
you're funny.
so the question we asked actually is, can Nigeria be great again? But before we even start to ask that, can Nigeria be great again? So that means Nigeria used to be great anyway. But yeah, do you want to answer, can Nigeria be great again? But well, if it is either a yes or no, whatever it is, so that means if you are answering, can Nigeria be great again? Just know that you are admitting that Nigeria used to be great. All right. So we have Ashraf. Okay, we have Boyega.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yes. Nigeria used to be great, and we had some. We got some history about Nigeria that dollar used to be equal to naira. Sometimes it was
Hmm.
bigger, and people used to go abroad to go and learn. Um, we don't even think we are a mate to China then, because I could remember when I was in secondary school, Chinese used to come behind my school to fix our railway. I don't think that will happen again. I mean, their laborers are fixing our railway. Now we are the one that is fixing things for them at the level of manual worker. Nigeria used to be great, and now we are here. So that means that something is getting worse. I think this is coming at the right time, because before this time, I was busy reading the book written by Chief Obafemi Awolowo about Africa. he called it the problem of Africa, and he was able to highlight some things that is going wrong. Apart from the fact that we are multi-ethnic, he highlighted that development came late to us, and after the British, the colonial masters came around, they were able to exploit us and degrade us, and a lot of terrible things has happened. So after that, the black person tried to, what would I call it? The black person tried to, the black person is confused, and we are in very in hurry to appear as if everything is okay while doing every other thing. So it explains why we are very greedy. Now, if you look at our traits, we just come online, we come everywhere, looking, trying to look rich when we are not rich at all. So, and that is destroying so many things. So, however, I have a very big difference with Chief Obafemi Awolowo, because I do not really believe that those are our problems. Because when we look at the past, we cannot say the white people were created before us. We can always say that we get to this planet at the same time, so we have the same chance. He also mentioned something that because they have a Sahara Desert that is large, that is blocking African against other continents, it has made African less. The white people that came down to come and colonize us, they went through desert and went through oceans to get here. So if they can go through that one, why is it that we cannot stand up and go extra mile to look for knowledge and learn from civilization? But after that time, this is like 60, like 70 years after colonization. And I think the best time we have in this country is closer to colonization than our own government. So something is very wrong. Something is very wrong with us. Something is very wrong. All the systems that were
Okay. Ashraf Adiama was giving a very good point, but I think we lost him. Hopefully, he'll be back. And here we have Mr. Benjamin Davisi. Mr. Benjamin, good evening.
How you, sir?
Yeah,
It's
very,
been a
very fine,
while.
sir. Yeah, it's been a
Let
while.
me
I
see your
have
face
to.
now. Where have you been hiding? You have
I've
left
been,
us in Nigeria.
I've been somewhere in the world, and I have to apologize actually. I have to
Yeah,
apologize because I thought it was we fixed. I think 8:30 p.m. Niger time,
yeah,
so I had to go use my.
yeah.
So I was supposed to see Ashraf in the dark or with the lights on, only to see him with in daylight. Oh, only to
Yeah.
okay. So I made a mistake. So the timing was wrong on my end. So I have to apologize for that.
Oh,
And you're
oh,
welcome.
okay. No,
So
no, voila. We are always with our phone. So thank God
exactly.
we had electricity at this time, and
Oh,
but we
great.
had prepared all day long. Like I had a nap, so I could have a refreshed brain before I get into the studio. So
Okay.
coincidentally, I was searching through the Facebook and I saw that you were live streaming. So I just
Yeah.
had to see
Oh,
what was
great.
happening. So I came on board. So
Uh,
it's just normal. It's cool.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we have Mufasa Shabazz was asking. He said, "What year was Nigeria great, please?" So I think whoever is going to answer that, because the question we are asking is, "Can Nigeria be great again?" So that means for us to ask that, "Can Nigeria be great again?" So that means it was great. Hey, it used to be great. So now Mufasa or Tolu Robinson is asking us, "What year was Nigeria great, please?" So that means we will now start to even put even greatness into context. That's one question. And then Mr. Zubair from Canada, he said, yes, Nigeria can be great when the people, the followers and leaders change their mindset and develop their orientation to see what great visionaries see and do. Nothing is impossible. Outthinking and thought is the resultant effect of what we get in the society. Remove greed and hatred alone from society, and see what that will give to the economy. I also have someone here who has been debating me on WhatsApp. He only replied to the broadcast. He's not coming into the studio. He keeps texting me. Now EFCC is running after accountant general. Let me come and okay, he's saying a lot of things. I don't care actually. So we have Mr. Benjamin Adebisi. So though we have a question, what year was Nigeria great? For anyone who thinks Nigeria used to be great. But we have a question. Can Nigeria be great again? That's the question we have.
You want me to come in?
Yes, please do.
Yo, thank you very much. Yes, this is a very sensitive question. When was Nigeria great? The beginning of everything is always rosy somehow. Like when you newly acquire a particular property, when you newly get somewhere, it's always very effective. Things usually work. But it gets to a time, if there's no proper maintenance culture, there tends to be degeneration. So I guess that person is trying to be somehow to be sincere with himself. That was Nigeria actually great at any time? Yeah, we won't say Nigeria was as worse as this. But in the beginning, when you newly acquired something, when education came into the country, when the transportation came, when government newly came, things were working. But now, with time, there was degeneration. So I guess people have been trying to decry the deterioration. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, I'm here with. Yes, I'm
So
here. Yeah.
I'm frozen. I'm frozen. That's why
Okay.
I'm frozen. That's why
Okay.
But can you hear my voice in real time?
Yes, I can. Yeah, in real time. Yeah, in real
So
time.
I guess people are trying to decry the deterioration in the effective system, which is the new system. Just like anything, when we started school, when we started our institution, we were friends, things were going on well. Then with time, deterioration came into play. So it's not impossible that we might be decrying the initial state. Does not mean that we had a perfect system, but we were working, things were working. But due to lack of maintenance culture, lack of motivation, or deterioration of effectiveness of our system, then we begin to decry the initial state. Did you get that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely I do.
So we won't say Nigeria was ever great at any time, but the initial starting point of the country where the colonial master came, they brought in what the school setup should be, where a teacher is employed as a teacher, and the teacher wants to do his work, and where honesty is in place, where the transport system is working because it was new, and people follow rules and order, and where the little salary you have can feed you, and people are not covetous. Nobody wants to start a career buying a car or buying a house within a few years of starting a career. Because I remember I am not a stranger to the academia. Please, I need your sound so that I can be sure I'm not just speaking into this.
Yes, I am with you.
Because I'm still frozen. I'm not a stranger to the academia. I have not even spent 7 years in the academia, and I could see many people that we started together or that even came after me and acquired so much of resources or personal resources, which practically speaking, you will know that it is not the salary we are getting now. So, but the initial system where my uncle was a professor or my uncle was an academic, obviously he didn't get to the university as an academic. He started as a young academic, as an early career, and his initial money were basically used to acquire, more education or books. Then by the time he got a car, maybe he was a senior lecturer, and he rode that single car since 1984 till 2001 before he was able to acquire, when he was already a professor, before he was able to acquire I think a V boot that time was 600,000, and I think he was about getting to retirement before he was able to build a car, build a house. But now, a lecturer too has a house now. You know, I wouldn't know how that come about. But if we look at the working system, the initial working system of Nigeria, lecturers face their academics just like the way I do now. And I tend to be kind of eccentric or trying to do as if I know more than others, because normally an academic should have a certain, you know, the way he thinks, the way he programs his money, the way he programs his lifestyle, you know, simple. When people see me on the road, you know, trekking, and they think he's mad, and I wouldn't know how much you expect me to have acquired from my salary. If actually all I do is this actual lecturing job, where more than 50% of the money goes to research, to traveling, to education, and all that. So Nigeria was great, in quotes, when things were working, when a lecturer behaves like a lecturer, not when in my school now, a lecturer harassed me and the university is backing him up. And this is a university where they are supposed to be a professor. In a normal setting, the panel will be set. I've written a lot of treatises on the social media. They will look into my article. They will ask the other person to write his own article. But my management, school management, once sponsored, you know, the leakage or the blackmail of another senior lecturer, and nobody is going to see that kind of a setting as a setting where it used to be, where the normal academia used to be. Academics are not interested in things like that. But now, blackmail, you know, fraud, theft inundate the academia.
Hmm.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So Nigeria was great when academics face their work, when academics face what academic is all about, when young scientists are just all about bringing new innovations, just like myself. When the academia, when the university, when the Nigerian academia will see prospective academia like myself and sponsor him to bring solutions. Now, in the last 2 years, we have issues of COVID, we have issues of lockdown, and we have many students, while we have limited resources to accommodate them. Young academics like me have devised method of virtual learning, virtual teaching men, and I was thrown into the mud. When Nigeria was great, when the Nigerian academia was great, I would be handpicked and be listened to, and I'll be sponsored to actually shed more light into great innovation and to making the system work. But the Nigeria of today, blackmail, lies, a lot of sponsored harm to my person, to my integrity, to my personality, to my character. They even said I was psychiatric.
Okay, Mr.
Just because
okay.
Just one thing to be done the way it should be done. Yes. So Nigeria was great when things were working the way it should work. But now there is deterioration in the system. We have an issue that Nigeria is in a rut. So the question should be, can we take Nigeria back to the new state, which we will deliberate?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin Adebisi. Mr. Benjamin Adebisi tried to answer the question of whether Nigeria can be great again, which I think he has not really answered in details. And then he went on to answer the question that was Nigeria ever great? And Tori Robinson or Mufasa Shabazz, listening to Mr. Benjamin Adebisi, asked if he was referring to the colonial time or after independence. Okay, so based on my understanding of Mr. Benjamin's submission, so the greatness, when we say, can Nigeria be great again? Yeah, Nigeria was great, but what is the definition of this greatness? So this greatness is not as if Nigeria was great like the Roman or the Eastern Roman Empire, or like the Ottoman Empire, or like the United Kingdom, or like the United States, to say, or like the Soviet Union. It is just, I think, comparative, looking at how we started and then how things continue to degenerate. So I think that's the context of that greatness. And then we have Mufasa Shabazz with us. Mufasa Shabazz, good afternoon to you. It's your afternoon, I think.
It's the morning here, actually.
Right, morning. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm in Mexico. I'm in Tijuana, Mexico. It's the
Okay.
morning here.
Okay, it's 9:44 here actually. Okay, okay. PM. All right. Welcome. So I think that was Mr. Benji's submission. So I think Mufasa Shabazz does not necessarily even agree that Nigeria used to be great, though I think we've tried to put that greatness into a context. So I wouldn't know if Mufasa would like to answer the question. Can Nigeria be great? I think I would like to just answer that. Do you think Nigeria can be great, like how a progressive and a successful modern day country or nation, should be? Do you think Nigeria could get there? If yes, how soon?
Yeah, Nigeria could easily be great again. Um, well, I mean, if we're, I'm gonna go beyond what he was saying because I understand what the last caller was saying in terms of Nigeria was working, Nigeria was progressing. I mean, it wasn't on the level of greatness, right? But it was at least working. It wasn't crumbling, right? So it could get back to that. That wouldn't take more than 20 or 30 years, 20 years maybe, to get to that point. But to get great, to be great, I mean, maybe like our grandchildren could see something like that. A few generations, it could get to that point. But all Nigeria needs is direction and a sense of history, right? A sense of history first to get a sense of direction and understanding. Because when I talk to people, I don't think they understand the world context that contributes to Nigeria's local context, right?
Hmm.
And it takes some history to do that. And I learned a few things. The history is not really that prevalent in the system there. A lot of people don't really have the grasp on world history. I know world history was blocked in 2007. It was blocked a time before that in the past. And I think this is a heavy contributing factor, because if you don't have any understanding of what happened, you'll just run around, go to these other countries, not seeing what you're really doing, not understanding brain drain. And I know people don't care about brain drain because they're just looking out for themselves, personally, rightfully so. But it will change. Like you could leave and seek opportunity for yourself with the intention on fixing your country if you've seen and understood that things could be changed, right? So if when the mindset changes, things will change just as easily. So I could definitely see Nigeria becoming great.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Sorry. Okatori thinks maybe Nigeria could be great again, probably in some 20, 30, 40 years. And I think it has to, for him, it has to be a mindset shift, a change in the mindset. Okay, I think we've heard from everyone. Okay, so before we go back to Ahmad or Lale, yeah, I think I also want to give my own contribution, which I think were maybe quite weird. I don't know. I remember there was a time in Oshogo, I was with Ashraf and Case Success, and then we were asking, should Nigeria split? I think that was our first video, our first live discourse. So for someone like me, I think I am quite indifferent as to whether Nigeria should split or whether Nigeria should remain together. To say, I'm not digressing. Yeah, I'm quite indifferent because I think we did not come together as a people, Nigeria, and then we decide to agree and say let us unite. So whatever it is we have, whatever our unity is a remnant, is a consequence of colonization of Western imperialism. And for me, I think that is not working. So as much as I will not go out there campaigning for Nigeria to split up, I'm not going to spend 1 second of my time to ask or to demand that Nigeria should remain united. We see, for example, sorry, my own personal opinion anyway. So you see, Nigeria, especially Nigeria's passport, is almost useless as far as the world is concerned. And then, yeah, I was talking to someone, and then the person said, you know what, we don't employ Nigerians. So why? Because some Nigerians in that certain country have committed some certain crimes, but I was not the one who committed the crime. So perhaps it's some sense. And then what do you see? You see the Igbo blaming the Hausas, you see the Hausas blaming the Igbos, and this one's blaming that, and that one blaming that. Maybe at the end of the day, I'm very sure that if Nigeria split up, there are some countries, there are some places in Nigeria that their passports will not have issues, and there are some places where their passports will always continue to have issues. So for me, for that country, Nigeria, to be great, I do not really have any hope in the unity of Nigeria. That is number one. And then number two, was Nigeria ever great? No, Nigeria was never great for me. Yeah, Nigeria was never ever great. If we put the greatness into context, that maybe when things were quite stable and not deteriorating, okay, that's fine. But when was Nigeria never really great? Immediately after the colonial enslavers, I won't call them masters anyway. Immediately they left, about some 5, 6 years after that, there was a coup. And then some people went on to just sweep everybody up. And then at the end of the day, what do we have? We have treachery, we had political assassination, even if they say we were giant of Africa and things were even stable. At that point, I don't think that is how a country should even be. So even if I think maybe can Nigeria be great again, the word again I would use, I'm not necessarily going to look at the context of what Nigeria ever was at any point in time. I am going to go off of being an anchor here, and I'm also going to contribute to this discussion. Okay, I've said that, and so I think we've taken opinions for everyone. So, what do we think exactly is the problem of Nigeria? We start with Amir Olaleye, and then we end this discourse session by looking at what solutions can we have for Nigeria to be a successful and a progressive 21st century. Oh, no, not even 21st century, because we'll be 100 years anyway. So what can Nigeria do? What are the solutions? We are ending with that will see Nigeria to being a successful and a progressive black nation. So Ahmed Olaleye, so what do you think seems to be the problem of Nigeria? And can you explain the complexity? If you think it's complex, it's okay. If you don't think it's complex, it's okay. But we think that Nigeria's problems issues are quite complex, and that's why we included discussing the complexities of Nigeria's problems and the solution. So Ahmed Olaleye, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lucas. Just as you have rightly said, the problem of Nigeria is complex. I want to stand on that point. Do you understand what I'm saying, sir?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
The Nigeria problem is very complex. I want to personally stand on that opinion. And the complexity will now depend on the view of every individual. So let's take, for instance, now, if you ask people, probably you go to the street, you try to sample people's opinion, they will tell you our government, start asking people everywhere. They keep telling you it is the government, it is the government. But what I always tell people is that when you continue saying it is the government, why not even looking into yourself? I don't know if you are getting me. Why not looking into yourself? Government is doing its own. We are also doing our own. So if that is the case, we will continue to have problems as far as I am concerned. Do you get what I'm saying now, sir? Hello?
Very true.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so we can't continue to be blaming government. Though government is part of our problem, we individuals, we are part of our problem as well. Let's look at it from this perspective. You know, you are in the bus. You are drinking a table water, or probably you are eating a kind of snack. And at the end of the day, instead of you to, use the waste bin, you decided to throw the paper, the nylon, the plastic on the road. Mr. Lucas, you are a Nigerian. You know how it used to be. You've been in Lagos. You know how the whole thing used to be. So if that thing should continue, do we expect the government to come and tell us what is right and what is not right? As a human being, I believe that I don't need to litter my street. So when I'm going on the street and I've taken my bottled water, I've taken my snack, so courtesy demand that I use the waste bin, not to litter the road. So if you go to different places in this country, you see a lot of people trying to construct things on the gutter, this and that. Yet we keep blaming the government. So as far as I'm concerned, the complexity of Nigerian problem does not lie within the government alone. It is everywhere. We are part of the problem. The government is part of the problem. That is my view.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
can I please speak on
No,
that?
no, hold
Okay.
on, sorry. Mr. Ahmed Olaleye, okay. This is the open space discourse, and then we provide a fair ground for everyone to talk, to be responded to be refuted, to be whatever it is. So permit me to refute some of your points that that you just raised. Yeah, I am a big fan of that. People should not blame the government, and that the people, the leaders are reflections of society. But on the other hand,
Yeah.
as well. So the one question we should ask is that even why is
Uh-huh.
it that Nigerians who litter the streets, who do this, who do that, Nigerians who do not obey traffic laws, why do they go to the United States, United Kingdom, advanced countries? Why do they obey the rules? Because there's a system. For example, when you ask people not to litter the streets, everywhere I go here on the street, if the people on the street, if it's just a street where people are not much, at least you see a big trash bin there. But then if it's a place where people are much, you can see like 5 to 6 or 7. So it is only if you are an animal that you will now see that. But I'm sure that in Nigeria, if by the time you hold something and then you buy like 5, 6 or something, if by the time you stuff them in your pocket or you stuff them in your bag, you can continue to walk for the next 2 kilometers. There's nowhere that you can put them. So as much as I think and believe that the leaders are a reflection of the society, and people cannot necessarily just heap all the blame on the government. But the example that people are lawless or something for me doesn't work, because even if people are goats, if there's a system, somebody called me and said, hey, I got fined. How much? About something like maybe some 11,000 or 10,000. I calculated the money in naira. They asked me to be 1.8 million. Why? The camera caught. You see? Yes. Even if that person is an animal, he will never ever make that mistake again. People are driving on the street, they are afraid. This guy brought me to this city and then he told me that he can't take me back to where I was coming from. I said, well, I said, wait now. He said, no, he can't wait. Police, police, police. Fine. He was mentioning fine in his mouth like this. Fine, 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 fine. It is because they created a system. So even if people are terrible, if the government, look at the times of Kai, kick against indiscipline, what is not different? Well, I think it's different. I agree that people cannot just put the whole blame on the government, but I'm very, very sure that if you have a government that set a system in place, give us like some Abacha or give us like one dictator, and let us see how people will be lawless. I don't think they will. So in some another sense, which I might go on, to also speak about, there are ways I think people should not blame the government for everything to say. But when it comes to this type of lawlessness, like breaking traffic rules, building on gutter, littering the street, I think those ones could be corrected with a very strong system. But that's my submission to that, Mr. Olaleye. Or thank you. You can actually counter refute me. It's permissible,
Well,
but in the absence of okay,
Mr. Lucas,
yes,
sorry
sir.
for cutting you short. Sorry for cutting
No,
you short.
no
Let me
problem,
give
sir.
you let me give you a scenario.
Yes,
About 2 or 3 years ago, I think during the tenure of Ambody in Lagos
yes,
State
sir.
here. So if you move towards that Oshodi, if you are going towards I think where is this place? I think you are going towards Computer Village. Are you getting what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yes, sir.
they installed a CCTV camera. Let me put it
Mm.
that way. About 2 or 3 places that I can remember. Although I was told that happened not. I mean, that is not the only place. That was not the only place where those CCTV cameras were installed. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
funny enough, do you know that they install this thing today and tomorrow, the second day, one of the lens or the camera, let me put it that way, over the night, they removed it. I
Okay.
don't know if you are getting what I'm saying now. They
I think
removed one of the cameras, I think the one at Shogunle, thereabout. They removed it before the next day. The
okay.
question is, the question is, who should we blame in this case?
Okay, the question where I think I get your point is quite good, but I'm telling you, like Abi Olayiwola says, he says the system are there, but people don't follow it. Can you go to the United States and see that the system is there? People don't follow it because you will suffer.
Mm.
Can you go to the
Yes,
United Kingdom?
yes,
Okay, yeah.
absolutely, yes. I'm
He
in the
said,
yes. I say yes. You can say that. Like the example. Okay, so there's a TV show that you could look. I'm only mentioning this show because you can look it up yourself. It's called The Wire,
the
and it took
what?
place in
The what?
The Wire. The
The
Wire. It's
wire.
it's
Okay, all
it's
right, yeah.
about it's about a inner city area in Baltimore, Maryland. And it depicts that because they were selling drugs in certain neighborhoods, they would set up these CCTVs, and people would throw rocks and make sure they break them or spray them to where they can't be seen.
Okay,
Even in my own city, right? In my own city, there was an apartment complex I used to live in. It's called Solola Apartments in San Diego, California. They so they had issues with crime. So what they tried to do was they would put armed guards around. They put security guard. Well, they started with security guards with no arms. Then they put the security guard with arms. The armed security guards. All that happened was people were setting them up and robbing them so they could take their guns and use them for themselves. So in the end of the day, if the people don't want the change, you can't just implement it from the top and say,
hmm,
I'm setting up a system.
hmm. Okay, thank you very much for that contribution, Tori. Tori, as well as Mr. Ahmed Olaleye. Yeah, that's a very beautiful submission. I think the essence of this discourse is just to make sure that everyone gets clarity, and then where someone drops a point, so there is always a chance to actually refute them. And yeah, the point raised by Tori as well as Abiola Iwola and as well as Mr. Ahmed Olali, I think they are quite more solid than what I have presented. I think so. So yeah, you are correct. I think that even if the people are not in agreement with the government or with those in power, nothing can really be done because, of course, there is no king without subject. Okay, so I think yeah, we can move forward from there. So are we clear on that?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, all right.
But I think you do have to ask, why don't the people care? And that does have something to do with leadership. So you're not totally wrong.
Okay, okay, I will take that. Okay, okay, let's get on to Mr. Benjamin. So, Mr. Benjamin, what do you think is Nigeria's problem actually? And if it is complex, can you explain the complexity? If it's not, you can just look at what you think the problem of Nigeria is, and let's see, Mr. Benjamin. Okay, I think
Hello,
Mr. Ben. Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, Mr. Benjamin. Yeah.
can you hear
Hello.
me now?
Yes, we can. We
Hello?
can. Hello.
Oh, great.
Hello.
Can you hear me now? I just want to be
Yes, we
sure.
can. Yes, we
Okay,
can. We
great.
can, Mr. We
Um,
can.
the Nigerian problem is highly polarized and heterogeneous. But
Hmm.
really, I have a very simple way to it. I I am a kind of person that I've grown to have a mind of my own. For example, when I go to the market and I see a lot of people trying to purchase some things, I will stand. Why the market woman is saying, but that what do you want? I'll say, attend to the person before me.
Hmm.
And before you realize that, everybody tends to put ease or ourselves into place.
Hmm.
This is what I'm trying to bring up. Everybody knows what is right. Everybody has that mindset of how things should be done. For example, in my class, students dress appropriately. Nobody makes
Okay.
noise. Nobody sits anyhow. When I'm in an examination venue to supervise, nobody cheats. Nobody asks questions. Most times, in fact, they make jest of me that when I'm supervising an exam, the place is like burial ground. And when you put another lecturer, I'm not trying to praise myself here, please. Let's get the point clear. When you put another lecturer in the same venue with the same strengths, there will be law of rowdiness. What am I trying to bring out? They know me. They know that this is who he is. They know that this is what he wants. And they behave alongside. That means they know what is right. For example, I get surprised when I discover that when ladies come to my office, especially young students that do a lot of makeup conventionally, when they are coming to my office, they come to my office with their natural face. And it will be so obvious that this is not the way this person looks naturally. But because he knows the kind of person that he's going to meet. So, sometimes they even put on white because they know the kind of person they are going to meet. So that means, I'm not saying my way is perfect, but they know me and they know what I wanted, and they are ready to play along what I actually want a normal ideal setting to be. In fact, some of them will even use foreign accents. I'm not a foreigner, but I pronounce words the way they are pronounced. Some of them will even use foreign accents when they are trying to talk with me. Now, what I'm trying to bring out is this. Everybody has the ideal mindset on their head. When an Okada man picks me up, he does not run anyhow. He does not overtake anyhow. This same Okada man will misbehave if it was another person. But because they know me, they know I'm a man of orderliness. So this is it. We'll all have this mindset that this is how a normal human being should behave. A normal person must not take what does not belong to him. A normal person must wait on the queue till the time it is his turn. A normal person should not lie. Now people don't lie to me again. They tell me the way it is. And I discover that it is not as if we don't know what the right thing is. It is not as if we cannot do the right thing. Because many Nigerians travel abroad, they follow the queue, they don't steal, they don't harass people. Do you know, I challenge many of our senior colleagues, professors, that you have kids overseas. The way you are behaving, is that the way they behave to your children? Some of them go to private institutions. Our private institutions in Nigeria, they are like foreign schools. That the way they coordinate lectures, exam, address students, address colleagues, is that the way they do it in private schools? Is that the way you are doing it here? So we have the normal mindset. It's not as if we need to be taught. Please, let's get that point clear. Nobody needs to be taught what the right thing is. We know what the right thing is. But our society, our culture, had allowed disorderliness. Our society has supported, touts, hooligans to get to the top. Our society has supported fraud to get to prosperity. Our society has seen fraud as prosperity. So since anything goes in the society, people that are orderly, for example, someone like me, they've pushed me to the back or to one side. Nobody wants to live my life. Like, he's always waiting for protocol. He's always waiting for things to be done rightly, and he's not making it. But you see someone that can harass, that can kill, that can do anything, will move to as far as managerial level. No, but most people will get to me and say they are not happy with my lifestyle, that I'm not rich, because they expect me to be richer than this, and maybe through telling students to pay 20,000 per course, and when you have like 100 students, pay 20,000 for me to upgrade some courses for them. I have a lot of money, and I begin to live beyond my salary. And I tell them, they know quite well that I'm very prudent. This is my salary. So how do you expect me to live beyond this? And if you have seen anybody in my cadre or in another cadre that is living beyond his means, that means he's doing other things. So our society has exalted disorderliness. Society have exalted fraud. So it is not impossible that everybody believes that everybody wants to be rich, irrespective of whatever means. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be comfortable. But following others will not make you get there, maybe quickly or maybe at all. So people go, they always say, no more way. He who knows the way knows those kind of a thing. So somebody going to classroom can only score a B or a C because he faces his work, and during the exam, he will have to rack his brain to write as much as he could remember, and the teacher only scores him a C and B. But there's somebody that could tip a lecturer, whether with money or with sex or something, and could just might not read and get a straight A. And everybody wants to be successful in quote. So success is having good grades. Grades are the ones not attending classes. They are the ones that are very close to the lecturer. So everybody comes to get close to the lecturers. Whatever they have to do just to stay at the first class at the 2-1 level. So we should always get it that there is not a problem in our head. It is not as if we don't know what the right thing is. It's not as if we need to gather everybody and be teaching us that this is what is right, this is what is wrong. We know it. But the culture has created, disorderliness to thrive, and prosperity comes through fraud and lies and illegalism and assault and debasing the next person. In our environment, like saying, you have to bring someone down so that you can be at the top. So
Mr.
because
Benjamin.
if you have to go with someone with much proficiency, you get what I'm saying. So Nigeria doesn't have a problem per se. We are all humans.
Okay.
We know what the right thing
Okay.
is. Like, let me chip in this. In our environment, in our school, we had some visitors from the Ministry of Education, from the accreditation body. And the time they were on ground, everything was working. The AC, the fan, the laboratory, everything was working. And these have not been working all the while. And immediately these guys left, everything went back to ground zero. That means things can actually work in Nigeria. You understand? But we deliberately not make it work because of our culture, which the society has promoted. So we promoted fraud, lies to the way of prosperity. So we understand that it's the mindset, the culture in which we embrace. It's not about the country being bad or people not knowing what the right thing is. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. If I got Mr. Benjamin clearly, he blamed Nigeria's problem, or the complexity of the problem anyway, on disorderliness, if I am not mistaken. Now we have Mr. Mickey. I think this is the first time he's going to be joining us on the Open Space discourse. Mr. Mickey, you're welcome to the Open Space discourse, where like-minded and intellectual people meet to discuss, varying topics, controversial topics where people have different opinions: religion, politics, philosophy, science, business, and whatever it is. So you're welcome, Mr. Mickey. Do you want to comment on our subject of discourse tonight?
Good evening, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can.
Okay, good evening, my fellow Nigerians. It's a
Good evening.
privilege to be on this kind of platform. I love where intellectual debate and intercourse is going on for progressive reasons, not for argument, but for progressive reasons. And I just stumbled upon the link on my WhatsApp by a very good friend of mine. He's a partner in content creation, and I quickly jumped at it because the topic was very interesting. I am an eternal optimist, and I believe that Nigeria is a great country, and I believe that Nigeria has a great future. But I also believe in reality. When we look at what we have on ground, there is a lot of work to be done. And I'm passionate about music. I'm a songwriter. I read law, but funny enough, I don't have the passion to proceed into practice. So I decided to concentrate on what I love, which is songwriting, content creation. I come up with all these ideas and I execute them. Like right now, I'm working on one called Alafia Alafe, which is
Great.
a peace song and a peace project for Nigeria, even as we enter into the election season. So
All right, Tori
briefly, I just
Robinson
want to
might be interested.
sorry.
I said Mufasa Shabazz might be interested in that. He's
Oh,
on this discussion session. Tori, can you hear me?
wow.
Yeah, no, I hear what
All
you're
right.
saying.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I'll link up with him when I get back there.
All right. That's okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would love that. So we have gone to studio. We have a very good song out, and hopefully by next week we're going straight to radio. We want to start uh, playing the music because there's something about music that there's something music does to you subconsciously. It makes let me not say brainwash. Let me not say hypnotized, but music is very influential. So we were able to write something that we can use to cool everybody down and to just promote peace. Anyway, talking about Nigeria, Nigeria is a product not of the people's coming together. We were put together by force by our British colonial, um, the British. They put us together. At first, if you look at our history, we were under the control of a company, the Royal Niger Corporation. If I'm not wrong, it's been a while since I read my history. So the British bought Nigeria from that company and amalgamated Nigeria for purposes of ease of government and proper exploitation. So we were an accident. Chief Abafemli said we are a geographical experiment. We were just put together. Not it was not the people didn't come together and decide for this country. We were put together. Let's not forget that. So we've had a faulty foundation from the onset, and that is why it will we until we address our foundation, Nigeria will have challenges, division.
mm,
And I don't want to go too far because there are so many people I want to hear from. But I just want to briefly let you know that we were a product of a contract. It's like a marriage that was put together between two families, but the parties were not, they did not fall in love.
mm,
And so that is where we are today. And so the oppression that the British met and the colonial experience, along with the corruption that the politicians after the post-colonial experience brought to the table, affected Nigerians till today. In fact, I read somewhere that when the British were in control of Nigeria, when the people want to when the people want to prove a point against them, they usually destroy property, destroy cars. They want them because they don't have this property. So that's how they get back at the people that have to just destroy. And so if you look at our culture today, you see the corruption, you see the exploitation, you see leaders. Leadership is very hard work, but you see
mm,
that when they get there, is to make themselves rich and comfortable. Their children are in foreign schools and they have foreign houses and foreign bank accounts. That's to show that there is no passion, there is no zeal, there is no love to build the country. Even during the political our political when we had republics and politicians in charge of Nigeria, the military would interrupt and look at someone like the former head of state General Sani Abacha. Till today, they are still recovering monies that were stolen many years ago. And
mm.
I'm not saying he is the only problem. The leadership was the problem, and it has affected every corner of the country. So when we know where we are, the health sector, we know about the educational sector, we know about the corruption in the police, and the every corner, there's no place that is spared. Now, what is the way forward? Because we know that there are problems, but what is the way forward? My solution, because I propounded a private philosophy, which I'm using for myself in my home. I call it the individual revolution. And what do I mean by it? I'll just speak on it just 1 minute and I'll pass the mic to you, brother. The individual revolution means I admit that I'm challenged, I admit I'm corrupt, I admit my weaknesses, and I also admit that I'm ignorant. And I go about reading books, learning. There are countries that had problems like that similar to Nigeria, but they fixed their country. How did they do it? I do a lot of research. I go online, I read books, and I apply them in my life. I apply them within my home, and it is working for us. And I'm hoping that I can also use my passion and for media to promote these ideas in my society. But is there going to be an overnight miracle? There will never be. The challenge is real, but it is worth making an attempt to correct. So that is the way I live my life, and that is how I see things. Thank you so much for listening to me, and let me just end there so that others can
All right.
react to what I said.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mickey. That's a very wonderful submission, and we are glad that you came here as well. If you are watching us, you can follow our YouTube channel, the Open Space Discourse, so that you get notified ahead of our discourse sessions. Okay. I think we have not listened to Mufasa Shabazz. What do you think is the problem of Nigeria, really, Mufasa Shabazz?
I think it's like as I stated earlier, is that the principles of the people are not aligned with um, any type of patriotic aims and goals, right? So it's pretty much it's like every man for himself, right? Alluding to what someone mentioned before. So what they said is that the country was doing better basically under the whites, right? And now we can't manage this democratic system, right? But the reason it's difficult to manage the democratic system is because before the system we had prior to that, it wasn't multi-ethnic. You were under one ethnic nation, and you could rely on your kings, you could rely on your chiefs, you could rely on these things. But now when you're in the democratic system, it requires the people to participate, right? Because people, they always talk about the government, the government, the government, as if the government is like aliens from outer space. The government is nothing but your brother that was right there next to you, and then later on he got a seat, right? So they come from the same place. I understand that a lot of these positions are carried by elites, but for the most part, the people who work in the government are products of the family that raised them, right? So if the family that raised them and then they later go into these seats, if they're not raised to care about Nigeria, they're only raised to say, let me use this position to make money, right? There's your issue there. So I think you have most of these issues could be fixed with the education, with a certain approach in education, right? Number one, you need education because you need an educated populace to even participate in democracy. If we even want to keep democracy, I'm not the biggest fan of democracy, but you need an educated populace, and then you need a populace that understands that we have to get out of this, the government, the government, the government, because you are the government. You pay the government, and the government employees you raise the government employees, right? So a person may say, I'm not political, but you're raising a child with the mentality they're going to go into politics or they're going to marry the next politician. So if people don't understand their contribution, and then Nigeria will never be able to be fixed. So I think it's an education issue, and we can educate people toward maintaining the system, right? And educate them to tell this. So we have to do something about brain drain because people got to understand. Look, even if you go abroad, you have to go abroad with the intention of fixing your country, investing in your country, not just sending money back Western Union so they can just blow it and waste the money. You have to invest and take risk. So I think it's an issue of education and mentality as it relates to government. That's the core of your issue. Everything else around that will be pretty much solved.
Okay. That's a very beautiful story, Mustafa Shabazz. Well, before we go on to looking at solutions, so this, I think Tori dropped this on. I am just going to just say something, just maybe some 2 3 minutes. Mustafa Shabazz, you can remember when we met in Nigeria, when we had our first discussion, I think on that night. I was saying that the problem or the solution to the problem of Nigeria and Africa by extension is that Nigeria or Africans by extension need a moral and intellectual reformation. I have always been saying that for about 6 years now, because from my own research, I see that the thought processes of the people are not set for progress. That thought process of people is not what is set for success at all. And now, I think by a fair degree, people are victims, and by a fair degree, people are not victims. Now, what do I mean? For example, there's a wide margin between the poor and the rich. Now, for you to have access to whatever its wealth, whether it is to have a dignified life as far as the country is concerned. You need education. Why do we love Obafemi Awolowo? Because he brought free education. So the moment where those who have the resources, the moment those who have the power, by the time they start to make what could make you a dignified being, by the time they start to make those things expensive, so how do people become dignified? How do people become enlightened? How do people become just reasonable? Now you have people down there, in the slums, people there like just everywhere. I think Nigeria, for me to say, is in a quagmire to say. So that is where people have become victims. That is the fair degree where people there become victims. That as much as we may not appropriate all the blame to the leaders, but those who have access, those who are ruling, and this is very, very rampant in the north. Northern politicians, I can defend this anywhere I am, anywhere I go. Anybody who wants to contend against that, I'm fine. Northern politicians have found a way to make the people undereducated, and they have continued to be the beneficiaries of the poverty as far as the north is concerned. The moment the majority of the northerners, they are elite as far as the north is concerned, but compare the number of elites to the number of those who are not even close to anything being dignified. Talk about the Amajiri children. How is it that in the 21st century we still have such number of poor children? But if we don't have people like that, if those children don't grow into adults who don't question, so if they don't grow into adults who will just say rankadede, let's go and vote. So people, our leaders, I'm not taking our time anyway. I think the leaders have their own part where the people are victims. So that is where the leaders or those who have resources, who have power, they have their own idea of version of capitalism. They have been able to discover a way to keep people at bay, to make sure that people are undereducated, because education is what can give you that enlightenment. And even for our word of today, even if you have that education, do you think the education that many people are having in Nigeria is education to say? Benjamin is in the academia, Ashraf is in the academia. Go and look. Go and look at what people are being taught. Now, what they are being taught, can it really prepare them for the 21st century, or for something that will not prepare them to even campaign against the government? I am not a fan of how the NSAS protest eventually turned out to be. It started well, but because those who took charge of that protest, I'm sorry, I don't want to take our time. Go back to the time of Nkrumah, go back to the time of Malcolm X, go back to the time of Tafawa Balewa. Ashraf, we discussed this before. Go and look at Albert Macaulay. Go and look at these people that took power from the whites or from the British. Go and look at them. Go and look at how they learn. Go and look at their thought processes. Go and look at what they are thinking. But can we even stage a protest today? No, we can't, because the protest or the campaign, they are just going to keep looting and continue to destroy. Because why? Because the value, the quality of education that people have is not what can really prepare them for greatness. And that is why I think that as far as Nigerians are concerned, for Nigeria to be a successful and progressive black nation, I think we need a moral and intellectual reformation. Sorry to take our time. Moral, not to go to church or to go to mosque, but moral, so that you just do basic things like corruption, like bribery, like not being selfish, like not being greedy. Because, like somebody would hilariously say, that people who are ready to steal, they are much more than people who are stealing. What of the intellectual reformation? What now? Look at us here. Look at what we are discussing. I mean, when I connect to one of our channels, we may have like 100 live viewers. Now we have just like 8 or like 10 or so. Let's open up a club here, online here, and then invite girls to twerk. Benjamin or Ashraf. Let's invite, yeah, let's
You will
invite
have
girls.
24 million views.
So let's
You see
invite girls now.
how leaked sex tapes have views? Sex tapes
Yeah,
of kids.
exactly. So now, exactly. So if what we have here now is a party where girls are naked and twerking, and then I say, oh, shake it, whine it, roll it, shake it, whine it. Come and see. We people, you have subscribers. People will be waiting. Oh, Lucas. Oh, Astro. When is the next time that you are going to have this? We have given all our egg. We know the name of all the footballers ever right there. We know the latest song. Ask them about the human being. Ask them about the human dignity. Stop someone on the street. Ask them that what your country internationally. What is the international relations of a country? They don't know. Even the basic human right, they don't know. Only to just campaign, protest, and write 20 word of. I don't want to take our time actually because it's annoying. So for me, I think if Nigeria is ever going to be progressive and successful, the people need moral and intellectual reformation. Moral so that they on their own individually they can give out what is good to the society, and intellectual reformation so that they stop being used by the greedy and selfish elites. And that's my submission. So who next wants to add what their solution to Nigeria's issues are, and anyone can disagree
I
with
don't
me
know.
and also refute my points actually. Okay,
I
I don't
just
know if I
wanted
can
to,
come back.
yeah, let him go, let him go.
okay. So
All
it's
right.
going.
This is Ashraf. I think last time I was talking, it went off. I have to reconnect back. That's Nigeria for us. So one thing I want us to, because Lucas took our time, but it
Sorry.
made a lot of sense. So no. We do not regret that. So it took a lot of it made a lot of sense. So I don't think we are going to solve the Nigerian problem in just few hours. I think probably we have another version of this because what people think is our problem, we have not really united it. What I will be saying now, I have told Lucas sometimes ago, they did not agree. A lot of people do not agree. However, like I said, I just read the problem of African from Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who I see as the only philosopher I know in Nigeria. There are some others in Africa. People can actually argue that, but I'm not here to argue that. So, which is, and there's a reason he was looking at the problem of Africa instead of the problem of Nigeria, because there is a united problem amongst Africans, which I think when we solve that and when we can pin that down, we will be solving a lot of problems. Look around you on this planet Earth. How many black nations do you see that is thriving? I don't know if we exist in another planet, but on this planet, have you ever seen 100 black people coming together to do something that is progressive?
Okay.
Now I want you to think
Okay.
about that. So let me move on, because recently on Twitter there was a problem between black Americans and Nigerians, saying they came to took their work, and well, Nigeria seems to be smarter. I'm sorry, maybe we have the black Americans on the list here, but the Nigerians took won that case, and the same thing we have problem in South Africa about Nigerians taking their job and stuff like that. We started having that kind of problem too in Ghana, and inside Nigeria we keep having problem with Hausa and other tribes, and inside Yoruba itself, some years ago we had problem with Ife Modaeke. So if somebody is saying because we are multilingual, that's our problem, that's wrong. If you put two black men together, they will still fight for something. and they will be disunited. So now, my next point where I'm going to move on is what is the cause of this? If you look at how human beings, we will see the wisdom, the brilliance, and the intelligence. There's something that we lack as Black that did not allow us to unite. When we start looking at that, then we'll discover that all the other problems that we're having come from that. If somebody wake up one day and can only think about getting money or not, and not how to get it, if somebody wake up without purpose, that person will not go for education. This Lucas said that they have to educate the Hausa people. No, why can't an Hausa person think that needs to be educated? Nobody can stop you from being stupid. Nobody can actually stop you from being wise. It is when you are wise that you make sure that you gather every knowledge around you that will work for you. So that the same thing you are saying was what Chief Obafemi Awolowo was saying. We want to blame something for our backwardness. No. When you realize you need to go and get something, you stand up and go and get it. One of our problems is that we lack purpose. That's why we will chase after somebody's bomb when we are having a problem, a program that is going to solve our problem happening. Somebody will go out of that and go and watch Burna Boy. After that time, then we will blame Nigerian leaders for something that is bad in this country without thinking, without rationalizing how can I solve the problem for myself. So when the white people are making robots, one of the highest form of AI, artificial intelligence, is when two robots can work together to make to achieve one goal. It is very, very important in a organized and superior race that 2, 3, 4, 5 people come together and make one thing work. If they cannot do that, their intelligence, their brilliance is useless because they will be working against themselves. So that is one thing that we lack as Black persons. If we can actually come together, a lot of people come together to work towards the goal, I think we will go a very long way. And I think one place that we can achieve that is in our educational sector, because that's where we have people that we think they are intelligent or they are brilliant. That's the only institution that houses those people. So if we can actually reform our education and give people purpose in life, they will start working towards some goals. So I will drop the mic.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ashraf Blackman. Thank you very much. Okay, so is anyone adding something to that?
I don't want to add at this point, but I did want to do. I refute that idea that Nigerians are coming to America and taking jobs because they're smarter. I don't want to get into tribalism because I am a Black American descendant of slavery here. But I just do want it on the record that I don't agree with that. But go ahead.
Okay, all right.
That's your
it, right?
opinion.
Right, that's true. That's true. I just want my opinion on the record. And we can, like I said, it's not the topic of the show. I would love to go. I would love to go on the show and where we could get into that. Cause I'm welcome to that.
Okay, all right, okay. We
All
have
right.
Mr. Benjamin, Hamid Olaleye, Mickey. Anybody adding anything? It's 1 hour 26 minutes already. So we are just taking the rounding up. We probably might have to discuss this topic later, or our next discussion may be the election 2023, because we did not even touch that at all. So maybe the next discussion.
Sorry, do we have a? I'm sorry, do we have a time limit for this conversation?
No, there is no time limit actually, but we've done 3 hours before, but maybe
because I Mr. Ashraf sent a message and I'm yet to attend to that, which is quite introspective concerning what is the academia doing to the development of this country, and he made mention of that. Now we have not talked about that. That the academics think they are the smartest people on earth, there where we have a lot of theses in a year, and we have tens of thousands of theses, which is expected to contribute to one knowledge or the other. Unfortunately, why are these theses, why are these knowledges, why are this professionalism not translating to real life events? Because that's what happens overseas. We have professors in economics, they step into the economy sector. I remember Condoleezza Rice was a principal in one economic school that was invited, to manage some positions which economic theories are deliberated, and she did well. So if I am in the health sector during the time of coronavirus, what was my role? Unfortunately, I wasn't respected here, but people came calling in from the United States, and I deliberated for them what the role of coronavirus is in present time and also in the future. So, but unfortunately, I've thank God for the online, for the global village that the world has turned into via technology. I would have been a nobody in this world because nobody appreciated me here, because most of our academics here are actually not contributing anything to knowledge. So we're going to have, now, recently we have issues with virtual technology. There is somebody seated in a position where innovations are brought, but this person is not interested in me as a person, not in what I'm doing. He's interested in what I do, which I happen to be the only person doing that because of my vast exposure in Europe, in America, and I've been able to devise that. But because he doesn't have interest in me, his personal sentiment has run that aspect of the school down in virtual learning to zero because he's not interested in my person. And there are several perspectives like that, young lecturers, academics in the Nigeria academia, which because some people are the upper echelon do not like their faces and they are just redundant like that. Most of them, they travel overseas, and that's where brain drain comes in. But now God told me to stay in Nigeria because I don't know why there are a lot of professionals there also overseas. I don't have to struggle through between them. I am in a country where it's backward academically, technologically, and I have this proficiency. And I can only do it in the limited amount of, because I'm actually financially bankrupt because I do that from my own salary. Now the school has a fund, the school has a power, the school has allocation, tertiary education trust fund have allocation for all those things. But because some people don't like my person, I'm not given the chances. So what about people that think they know? Okay, now I am the eccentric person. I am the person that has been excommunicated. What about people that are hobnobbing with the people at the power? What are they done as academic? Professors of engineering, professors of agriculture, professors of architecture, professors of landscape or whatsoever, geography or what they call themselves. What are they doing to improve? Yeah, that's what I keep saying. Hundreds of millions of naira are allocated to the university, and they're being just embezzled.
Sorry,
okay, look at everybody.
Mr. Benjamin, sorry, yeah, I will let you just continue in a second. But sorry, did we discuss ASU? Have we discussed ASU yet? I think we did. Did we, Ashraf?
We didn't discuss it.
We haven't. I am not talking about ASU.
I think
I am not discussing ASU.
Okay, but I think we should one of these days because it's a big continue.
Yeah, we should. I had a series of interviews with OSBC, but I'm not discussing ASU. I'm discussing the point Mr. Ashraf raised, specifically pointing at me on Facebook that Mr. Benjamin is going to discuss the issue of the role of the academic and the academia in the development of this country, because our problems are known. It's not as if our problems are spiritual. We have power problem, we have issues with organization, we have issues with our economy, we have issues with our agriculture. How do we improve agricultural yields? And we have people claiming proficiency in all these areas or sectors of life, claiming to be professors, claiming to have theses, answering one question, supervising theses, answering several questions or research questions. Why are they not translating into real life events? That's what Mr. Ashraf has given me, the challenge. Now, speaking of my own now, what about others? What are they doing? What are they doing to improve the yield? Because we have several challenges. There are several physical challenges. What about recycling? Some people are taking charge of sustainable development goal, and they are claiming to be professors, presenting papers, doing a lot of workshops on sustainable development goal. But what are they doing physically, practically? I know in Iceland, in Denmark, they recycle almost everything. There's a place they pick the plastics, there's a place they put the metals, there's a place they put some, reusable materials. And they reuse, they conserve the environment, they go into cleaner energy. In the United States, I know how they try to get places where there are leakages of methane gases resulting into global warming, and they have technology to detect where those leakages are and how to block those leakages. And now, even in Finland, they are discovering how we can produce meat other than killing animals. And yeah, that was in Netherlands where you taste burger and the burger tastes like meat, but the material there, they are plants. But they synthesize it in such a way that it was tasting like meat for those people that are actually inclined towards tasting meat. But now we want to reduce, the rate of killing of animals. So they could synthesize plants, soy milk, and other fibers of plant that it just look like meat. So in such a way, you preserve lots of lives of animals. And the way they construct their cities, the way they structure their system in such a way that the power is renewable. They encourage people to ride bicycle, which improves their health, number one, and also decrease the emission rate. So some people must have brought these ideas. People in the academia, people that are knowledgeable, must have brought these ideas. So what are the people here doing? They get promoted almost every 2-3 years. They write hundreds of publications with they boast to be knowledgeable at. But why is it not translating to the physical solutions? Why we call them Ivory Center? Because they are so isolated from the society. They don't bring improvements in how things should be done. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a challenge. I think it should be even a topical issue that even someone like you go to several academia and challenge them. I have challenged them severally. All they've done to me was to excommunicate me from all the platforms. Because somebody claimed to be to have proficiency in crop planting, and he doesn't even have a farm. So all the hypotheses cannot translate to improve yield. So that's what we are saying.
Ashraf. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, it's maybe it's quite I don't know what is ridiculous. Thank you very much, Mr. Begme, for the insight. Does Mr. Ahmed
I don't know if I can add to that.
Okay, yes, you can definitely.
Yeah. So, well, I thought over the years, Mr. Benjamin has come up with a solution, but I think he hasn't gotten headway. You said God is who sent you to do this job. I really hope He empowers you, because for me, I don't think God really cares. I don't think God really cares about what's going on in our universities, because you see, God has helped us. We are not animals. We are not monkeys. Because if we are monkeys and God gave us university, He will be the vice chancellor of that university, because He did not give them so much brain to work with. So if God has given us so much brain, I don't know why we cannot work with it. What you have mentioned as a problem also translates to the issue of ASU and the politicians. The way I do see it is that they keep blaming the politicians for their flaws, and the politicians, I don't know who politician blames, but the ASU and the university system keep blaming. But I always believe that wisdom is even more than money. You can always use your wisdom to get money, but you cannot use your money to get wisdom. Because if you actually pay people that are wise, they can still take your money from you and run away with it. So
Hmm.
Okay.
I think
That one, okay. Well, that's rough. Maybe that one we may discuss that one later because I think maybe people who are smart would probably take your money, but if you have wise people, maybe wise people know better. Maybe they can make you wise and steal your money actually. So maybe one of these days we'll talk about differentiating between wisdom and smartness. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
okay.
Okay.
So I think we just have to I don't know. Mr. Lucas said he left this country for, is it political asylum, economic asylum? I don't understand.
Not any
However,
kind of
you have.
not any, not any.
I've never heard anybody using that excuse before.
I never. Okay.
So, now, because what I'm very sure about is that what we are discussing now will really make us decide where to face as
Hmm.
individually and as a community in this country. Do we all run
Hmm.
and take asylum somewhere else, or do we stay and see what we can try?
Or
I'm
do we,
actually expecting.
or do we run to build?
Do we run with?
Yeah. Do we run to build? Like Tori said, you actually can just run, have better insight, have better view, make more money, and go back to build where
I
you
don't think you
left.
can run and build. I don't think you can run and build. I don't think you can
Um,
run and build because when you leave, you are not in touch, and people want to build house here, and because they are not in Nigeria, they are building in the virtual world. They keep embezzling their money. Yeah,
I'm a
so
Loralist
you
metaverse.
can build the house. You cannot build your house in Nigeria when you are in US. How do you think you can build the whole country? So it's not possible. I don't think you can leave the country and be building. So
No,
let's
but
really
No,
forget it.
okay,
I think
but
the only
leave.
thing
No,
you can do.
you can leave. Ashraf, you can leave and join hands with guys in diaspora, and then you can come back to invest massively as far as the country is concerned. And maybe there are people who are doing things like that. Maybe one or two that I know of. They are out there, but just they're just very few. So people really have that mindset that they go there, they make money, they are coming back to invest really big. I'll give you an example. An example is Acorn. An example is Akon. An example would be Sadio Mane of Liverpool in Senegal. Yeah, I think someone can do that. Like Akon is investing massively as far as his country is concerned. So yeah, maybe
In
things like that
Senegal.
could happen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so maybe things like that could happen. You know.
well, this is the thing about that though, Lucas, is that I I partially agree with him, but he's wrong because you can definitely invest back into your country. It's just that this is a very difficult task, right? It
Hmm.
takes a lot of effort and energy. You have to keep your eyes on the prize. You have to be focused on Nigeria. People think just because you come to like my country, for instance, they think you're going to come to America and make all this a bunch of money and then be able to just send so much money. And when they get here, they realize it's not that easy because you need a lot of excess money to be able to invest and then have money. Like I'll give you an example. If I want to say, for instance, I want a farm in Nigeria, it doesn't cost much. Maybe I you know, about $1,800 US. I secure the land, and then I can pay salaries, maybe 250, depending on the size of my land or how much per month, right? So it doesn't cost much. But for me to just come back and manage, if I want to come back for harvest, depending on what it is that I'm planting, for me to return to Nigeria round trip times in a year.
Okay, sorry, you went off. Okay, can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, I think so. I think it's Tori, right? Okay. Tori is saying something very interesting actually. Okay, while we wait for Tori to come back, maybe Mickey or Mr. Ahmed Olaleye wants to add something.
Yeah, in fact, I've been enjoying. Uh, I enjoy my people the way they, analyzed a lot of things. But from my own point of view, I think we have a lot of things to do to salvage the present and the current situation of this country.
Hmm.
So let's take, for instance, we all agreed that our people's orientations need to be changed. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can. We
Yes,
can.
yes.
We all agree that our people's orientation need to be changed. Sorry for drawing us back.
Okay.
Sometimes ago when I wanted to start my building foundation, my house foundation, some set of people came, or let me just say it all started when I bought the land. So they collected the land from me. I was given another place. So I do not have money. They collected that. So when I was eventually given another one, so I had to find money by all means that I need to fence this land. So when we were about to start doing that, some people came. They said they want to collect Owole. I don't know. I'm going to translate that for those who doesn't understand that. So they came. They collected the sum of 120,000 naira from me, just because I want to, erect a fence. So when I wanted to start the foundation, they still came back and said, okay, the money I paid the other time is for the fence, but now I want to build a house. I need to pay money again. This kind of orientation is a kind of shallow orientation and a poor orientation which need to be changed. And when I started asking people that this money they collected, how are they going to share it? Somebody said a lot of them will not even see up to 2,000 naira out of the money. So if I'm not going to see more than 1,000 or 2,000 naira, why do I need to involve myself? Why do I need to dedicate my whole lifetime in this kind of job? Sometimes ago, somebody told me that a representative, one of the Nigerian representatives, brought a transformer to one area. Probably they are having the issue of electricity. So the guy brought the transformer. They told him that before they could allow him to put the transformer, what is going to be beneficial to them. They said before they could allow him, he need to pay money. I love the man. The man took his transformer away and he took it to another community that needs it. So the orientation needs to be changed. And how do we do that? I think we need to start examining our curriculum in schools. Hello? Are you with me?
Yes, we are with you. Yes.
Yes, we are with you, sir.
The most annoying part is that if we say this person did not go to school is another thing. Majority of people that are involved in this, you will come to realize that they are also educated just like yourself. But yet they will be claiming that it is our father's property and this and that. So I believe that our curriculum need to be changed, because most of the curriculum used in our institutions are outdated. I won't lie to you, they are outdated. I studied Greek education in school and I came out with second class upper. Funny enough, I was told that if we are to inject a female fish, we should use 0.5 ml overprim or overtide when we are injecting.
Okay.
So I went to a fish farm. That person happened to be my friend. I went to meet him and he honored me, being a graduate of agriculture, and he said, okay, I should help him to inject the fish. Do you know that when I pull out 0.5 ml of overprim, I was about to inject that fish. The guy said, you want to waste this thing? I said, how? I was taught that 0.5 per fish. Then the guy said, no, 0.5 is much. Surprisingly, the guy brought a plastic, mix it with water. Though when you mix it, he brought a plastic, put water, a certain volume of water, added salt. Actually, that solution, we call it a saline water. He added salt, that 0.5 ml, he pull it out and mix it with the saline water. Funny enough, it was that water, that mixture, that we used to inject about 12 fishes. I was now like, how is that one possible? The guy said, is it not result we want? And to my surprise, this guy have never attended any higher institution. The highest of his schooling, I think it was secondary school. So if a secondary school holder could be teaching me what I did not learn in school, we should know that we are having a problem with our curriculum in school. You should know there is problem. So I had to submit myself to him totally to spend another extra 6 months
Wow.
to learn all these tricks and acts. So our curriculum need to be changed, and the orientation of our undergraduate need to be changed. Not that you graduate and start pursuing job. What can you offer to the society? This is another problem. This is another problem we are facing in the country, whereby we have a lot of graduates. They keep telling, on Facebook, I always get annoyed easily when I see a lot of people saying, I have master's order, I have this, there is no job, there's no this, there's no that. I keep telling myself, if you
Can
call
you do the
yourself a
job?
graduate,
Mm.
if you call yourself a graduate and government is not ready to offer you your job or the job of your choice, can't you do something at least to keep yourself going until you eventually see the job of your dream or the job of your choice? So our curriculum need to be changed, and after that we need to introduce several things into our system. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Yes, sir.
perfectly.
We need to introduce several things to our system. Now, in schools, when you go to school, don't be surprised that most of the people that are in school, they are old people. Secondary school, for that matter, people that are above 60, and they refuse to bring technology into their teaching. No, I can't imagine a class teacher, a secondary school teacher with an Android phone, and you cannot use that Android phone to the best of your, you cannot bring out the opportunities that the Android phone can avail you to improve the teaching learning system in your classrooms. We are talking of instructional materials. You want to teach transportation. You couldn't get vehicle easily outside. Why can't you bring out your phone, open your Google, or you open your YouTube, bring out car, bring out bus, show them on the screen of the phone? No, things like this need to be changed. So when things like this change, I am very sure what we expected of Nigeria to be, I'm sure we will get it. It might not be a day job. It might not even be during our own time. I won't lie to you. It might not be during our own time, but I'm very sure if we can look into the aspect of our curriculum and we're able to impact it appropriately, and we don't make it a stagnant thing, we make it a kind of dynamic thing. Not that you'll be using 1980 textbook, 1980 textbook to be teaching the present student in the classroom. These are the things. How many of our ICT students that studied information and communication technology, computer science in the university can write program? How many of them? In 21st century, we started teaching them COBOL, Fortran, Argo. When we have Python, we have all this advanced programming. These are the things we need to change before the whole thing can work out. And lastly, don't forget that this set of people we are teaching with an outdated curriculum, with an outdated books, with an outdated instructional materials, they are the same set of people that are coming into the society. How do we expect us to move? So this is my contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Olaleye. Okay, Mustafa Shabazz was saying something quite interesting before he left, but now it's we are 9 minutes to 2 hours, and we have someone here in Yada Ahmed. I think this is his first time on the Open Space Discourse. Can Mr. Yada Ahmed hear us? Yada Ahmed, are you here with us? Okay, I don't think he's here then. So, but if you can hear us, I think you'll say so. Okay,
Yes,
Yada
I'm
Ahmed,
here.
okay.
I'm here. I'm online.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is to you.
Good evening.
Yeah, what part of the world are you joining us from? Sorry.
Yes, I'm at Ogun State right now. Johnny from
Ogun
Ogun
State.
State,
Okay.
Nigeria.
Great. We have been live for 1 hour 52 minutes to say now, and we're discussing the complexity of Nigeria's problem and the solutions, and also asking if Nigeria can be great again. Though we are moving towards the end of the discussion, though I'm the one pushing it because I think people really have a whole lot to say, and if care is not taken, this might even get to about some 3 4 hours, which I really don't want us to do up tonight. Mr. Yeda Ahmed, do you have any contribution to that topic?
Yes, I have a contribution. Thank you so much for the privilege given to me. I really appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, you're
Actually,
welcome.
why I joined late, I wasn't aware about this session. I just saw the link via Mr. Ashford's status, and I said, let me join. This is quite going to be
Okay.
impactful for me. So that is why I'm actually joining. Personally, I'm a journalist, and then I see personally, I feel like Nigeria is going to be great again if actually you are doing the right thing at the right time. And unfortunately for me, I
Mr.
didn't
Yeda,
join the group.
your voice is low. Your voice is low.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, unfortunately, I didn't join this session. I have a kind of what the training or the session is about. But I want to think that Nigeria is going to be great again moving forward. All we need to do is just to do the right thing at the right time. And a lot of things is quite wrong, coming from let me say from top to down and then from down to bottom. I mean from down to top. If we are not actually putting things, I mean right things in place, definitely will not get it right. If you are saying that our government, those at the top, are the ones that are actually what we have, where we are today, they are the ones we are supposed to blame. But that is everybody, irrespective of the culture, irrespective of the background, and irrespective of where we belong. Definitely, we are all have what we say have the means to actually bring Nigeria back to what it was in the past. Right now, many people are actually streamlining challenge most of it. Whereas coming back to the past, I don't want to touch other sectors, but let me say for media, there are some things that we are supposed to put in place. I mean, for the public to see because of of things, and that is why even being actually about the report is a challenge, and the challenge actually is coming from the regulation. This is what you are supposed to put public, and
I
then
can hardly
if the
hear
public
Ahmed.
are not
Yes, yes. Mr. Ahmed, we can hardly hear you. That's sad.
over,
Uh,
Maybe he
I'm on
has to change
transit,
his
so that is
position.
why.
okay, Mr.
Let me
Ahmed, Mr. Ahmed, we can't hear you. You have to change your position. Sorry. Okay, please. So you have to change your position.
yes,
Thank
I'm
you.
coming.
Okay, all right. Please,
Hello, hello.
okay, just let us know when you do that, please. Okay. What the Facebook user, please. You ask, was
Just give me one
Nigeria
minute.
ever
Let
great?
me change my.
Okay, all right. Please do. All right. Okay, please do. Who is your Facebook user? Can you
Hello.
tell us what your name is? Yeah, hello, Ashraf.
I think before we go, I just have one important information because I've waited my life to share this, and I think if I just say it here now, some of us can carry it along because our brother from United States said something that we just only have to expect our children to see the great Nigeria. If we want that to happen, then we need to prepare for that also. Because for me, I tell Mr. Michael, who actually was from United States, now in Osun State, and is trying all his best to make sure that this country becomes great. I do tell him that I don't expect anything in my lifetime here. So I would rather be comfortable and enjoy what I can than to put so much of my fuel on the country. That doesn't sound patriotic, but I am open for anything that is progressive. However, I think one of those patterns that I've seen that can grow a nation is what I will discuss now, and probably we can learn from it. Someone mentioned, I think it's Mr. Lucas, he mentioned something that I think probably is Mr. Mufasa. Yeah, he said the military, he doesn't believe in democracy. And if you actually look at the greatest African nations today, they are not run by the democracy. So that means that democracy is one of our problems also. The example of Rwanda and Libya before it was totally castrated and dethroned, and they are nowhere to be found now. That was a very big mistake they made. So, and another example I can bring on was when I was in Lagos. And Lagos, even when I was going to school in Lagos, my mom told me that that's the center of devil. He mentioned two states. She mentioned two states, Port Harcourt and Lagos, and said I should watch my back. And immediately I got here, the only thing I do is to watch my back. And that was the time of Fashola. And one thing happened then. The internal change of Lagos State came during Tinubu, and the external came during Fashola. One thing I noticed then was Lagos is a representation of Nigeria to some extent. Apart from the Hausa part, the Lagos people are known for, I'm sorry, a lot of thuggery. They are self-acclaimed Nigerians. Like they think they are more Nigerians than any other person. However, when Fashola came, he actually put them in their place. I could not believe that Ojo Elegba that I met in Lagos can actually transform to somewhere very nice now. The Yaba Central, the Oshodi that we see now was filled with so many thugs, a system of thuggery and terrible representation of Nigeria. But between some few, with a very good system, everything has been cleared and it is okay. So I started believing that somehow, if people actually unite and they are enlightened and they are civilized, they can actually change things. But how can we get people to be civilized in Nigeria? Let's forget about being divided, because like I mentioned before, division might not work for black person, because no matter how divided you are, a black person will always fight a black person. So I think with the system of what we have started here, which has been tried by Tafawa Balewa himself, I think me and Lucas discussed that in the past. In the north, how did this start? It was in a square, like a market square, I can't remember, where he just talked and people gather, they challenge him, he challenged them. That's why the political movement started for him. And he became a very responsible person, which people started trusting. And before we know it, he became one of the leaders of this country. It started just like we start here. And this is the best place, not in school anymore, because Mr. Benjamin just let us know that the school is not the right place for us anymore. It started somewhere here that concerned young people are coming together to talk about things. Then they move from there to start having political opinions, to start having discussing how change can be made. And in their circle, they make changes. And they started going from there to outside and started touching life, having positions and growing from there. I think that can only be a way of having a system of government where everything that we want to do has been discussed in a circle and you can now ask them outside. Because if you believe that the system in Nigeria can be used to build Nigeria, I don't think that is going to work. It has never worked. We have a way of destroying our own system. So if we from everywhere we are, see people doing something good. I think we just have to come together and help them become a group. I don't want to say a cult, because the word cult might mean that people don't come in anyhow, but you keep maintaining what is inside and you keep spreading. And if you have a group in Nigeria, just like we have NSAS, that a lot of people later came in and destroyed the whole thing and let it blow up in our faces. That is what happens to groups. But when you have a very system that is very tight and disciplined, and you have people that only come in if they have purpose in life and if they have sound mind, then I think that group can be the one that can expand and change this country very fast. Very, very fast, because as you are seeing us, we are not as satanic as we think. If you put gun in face of a black person, they will run away. But I'm not advocating for violence, actually. So I'm just saying that I think the governor of September once said that corruption is afraid of Nigerians. Also, if you can challenge them, they will put down their whatever it is. So we
Exactly.
are actually afraid of challenge. We just need people that will challenge. And the West and entertainment is trying so much to distract young people so that they will not focus on a system like this for us to work. So that
Ashraf,
would be my submission.
thank you very much. Before Mr. Inyada Ahmed talk, let me just say something on what Mr. Ashraf Blackman said. Now, one thing there, we talked about complexities, and this is where I think Nigeria has a compound complex issue. Now, let us even assume that we do not have a problem, or we do not have the challenge of Western interference. Okay, now the complexity of Nigeria as a multi-religious and multi-ethnic state. Our religious and ethnic differences, it is a real big problem. So at the end of the day, so when some youths come together, are they from the north? Are they from the east? Are they from the south? Are they from the west, or wherever it is? Can they really come together without, if they are a group of Muslims and Christians, would the Christians not say, oh, these ones are traitors? Would the Muslims not say, no, this one is not Muslim enough? If it's Hausa joining with the Yorubas, will they not say, oh, this one is between us? If it's Yoruba joining with the Igbos, will you not say, oh, I am not saying it is not possible. I am only buttressing your point, but also noting out how we are in a compound complex situation. I think that's just so. We have Mr. Ineda Ahmad. Okay,
I would
so
have loved to react to Asher, but let's since the moderator is pointing at
no,
somebody,
it's
let
okay.
that
No,
person
it's
go.
okay. Please do. Yeah, please do. Okay,
Okay,
who
please,
is
in
that?
just 2
Who is
minutes.
that?
In just in just
Okay,
2
okay. No,
minutes.
let's Ineda talk, please, and you will react. So, Mr.
Okay,
Ashraf,
no
please.
problem.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Ineda Ahmed. Okay, maybe Mr. Mickey, he just has to grab the mic.
Is Mr. Yanda there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, all right,
Go
thank
ahead,
you.
sir.
I'm on transit, so I think the network is kind
Okay.
of fluctuating. That is why. I don't know if I can share, or perhaps I don't know. I don't know because the network.
Okay, but
But
we can hear you now. It's like this.
thank
It's okay.
you.
It is better now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, as I was saying before, I was actually pointing out to the fact that we need to change our mindsets as far as the country is concerned. And then, we have been tagged as, giant of Africa, and then giant for what? We need to ask ourselves, giant in terms of what aspect actually. And then, when they say someone is actually giant, they are expecting a kind of trait in you, which they are not seeing in us. And comparing this current situation we have, or let me say the century we have now, 21st century, to other centuries, you are with me, we are not doing much.
Okay. Mr. Yanda, hopefully maybe you get to your destination before we end this discussion, or probably you could join one of our subsequent sessions, God willing. Okay. All right.
People can easily move.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Anyada, I'm sorry. I may have to place you on mute, and you can follow discussion, or maybe the next time we have a discussion, you could join, and if probably we. Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Mickey, please. I think we'll just listen to you. Let's. Okay.
Yes, I was excited at my brother's contribution as on
Your
how
voice
we
is
should
low.
come together. Okay, move my. Can you
Better.
hear me now?
Yes, please. Yeah, we can.
Okay, so I was excited at his contribution that we need to come together, discuss things, and look for way forward, look for solutions. Because I am personally not of the opinion of I am personally not of the opinion of complaining and looking for problems and complaining about them. We know that there are problems. Quite all right. There are problems in Nigeria. They are foundational, our orientation, sociological experience, religious differences, like you mentioned, there are problems. But even with the problems, I strongly believe that we can come together irrespective of our differences and look for solutions. That's what I do. And that's why I have no complaint about so much of the challenges, because I found out something. If I can put, I hope I'm not making you laugh.
No, 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 no,
Because
no, 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 no.
okay, let me give you a practical example. I went to a family today who the wife hinted me that they are having financial challenges. And in fact, she has been under the weather. When I went there, I visited them. When I was going, with the little that God gave me, I put it in her hand. And I saw the face of the whole family, a husband and wife and two children. I saw the face light up. Man,
Hmm.
my Nigeria is working, bro. I'm excited about this country. I don't care about where they are from. I don't care about where they are from. I was able to put a smile on a family's face today. That is
Hmm.
how I live my life. And that is why I don't see the problems. I look for what I can do every day to make somebody happy or to look for a solution to provide. And I believe that if Nigerian can have this philosophy that as I'm going out of my house, what contribution can I make? I know that there are problems. I don't know. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can clearly.
Okay, yes. I know that there are problems. Right now, I'm in darkness. There's no electricity. But I'm excited because even with the darkness, I am here talking to you intellectuals and I'm learning from you. I'm gaining information. I'm getting information. So at every point in time, if we can correct that mentality, that entitlement mentality, that expecting something to always come to you, expecting someone to always pay put something in your hand. If we can reverse that and say, no, what can I give? I tell you, we have solved half of the problems of this country. And so I want to just make my submission that Ash, your idea that we should come together is a beautiful idea. You may be Muslim, I may be Christian, but you are my brother. We will never agree on some areas, but we can live in harmony. And we can look for problems that we can solve together. And I believe when we do that, we begin to enjoy the benefits of a great Nigeria, even with all the challenges. Will we solve all the problems in our lifetime? No. But we can do something about them every single day. And I want to end by saying this. I read somewhere that the elders plant trees knowing that they will never sit under the shade.
Hmm. Hmm.
When a 70-year-old man is planting a tree, he knows he will never live to sit under that shade, but he's doing it for the next generation. If we have that mindset, we begin to enjoy the great Nigeria we hope for, even before we get there. Thank you so
Hmm.
much, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mickey. That is beautiful. Now you just made an idea come to me now, probably. We probably might even start some open space discourse words on map or word of the week. Like some of your words, we really need to design them as quotes and blow it out there. And especially the last one, that's true. The elders plant trees, even knowing that they are never gonna sit under the shade. Wow, that's great. Okay, so okay, Oluwafemi Dennis, he came around and he left. Why he's a fellow is very very open-minded. Okay, Ahmed Olaleye reacted, so I said, wow, he loves the quote from Mr. Mickey. Mr. Mickey, I think you just gained everyone's respect here tonight. So thank you for that contribution. Okay, so it's 2 hours, 30 minutes. Okay, do we have any other contribution? I see Mr. Ben, you probably might want to ask something. I don't know. And Mustafa Shabazz.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have actually learned a lot, and I know that you know, I always say this from what I learned from Michael Jackson, that if I want the world a better place, look at the man in the mirror. Obviously, that's going to be me, and tell that man, be the changed man, be a better man. And I usually say something: if everybody sweeps the front of the house, the world is going to be a clean place. I am not going to be the one to enter into you or anybody. I just have to do my own part. Like, I just have to do what is right on my own part. As a lecturer, do what is right. As a driver, do what is right. As a cleaner, do what is right. Let the banker do what is right. Let the administrator do what is right, and the whole world is going to be a good place. But I think we all want peace of mind. We all want to, because even if we travel to another country, it still depends on us. It depends on our attitude. You understand? So I believe we should speak to ourselves. You understand? Where it's good we have ourselves to educate, to rub minds together. I've learned something today, the last quote. And I think, although I may not have seen it in that form, but I always saw a quote that says I should live a dream that is bigger than myself. You understand? And I think it's been buttressed by what the last person said, that the elders plant a tree and know that they are not going to sleep on or sit under it. So I'm living a dream bigger than myself. And that's why I'm in this country. That's why I've not run away to be earning dollars and just eat and have accommodation and all that. A lot of my colleagues have done that. But I just believe I should live a dream that is bigger than myself. I stand, if you see my quote on social media or my write-up on social media, it's all about challenging the status quo in the academy. I'm speaking for my own department alone. Let another person also speak. I can't go to the engineering and say what is obtainable in the engineering. Of course, the professor came up and just said what that man in fishery said, that our syllabus does not answer any question, does not go with the contemporary solutions. Now, as an anatomist, I had an opportunity to travel overseas. I saw what is happening there. I had lots of applications. I said, yeah, we don't need the cadaver again. We don't need the classroom again. And I started designing classroom. Though not supported, but this dream is bigger than me. And that is been buttressed by the man that says the elders should plant a tree that is, where they might not be able to sit on. And the other person, I don't know whether it's still the same person, he said we should forget the sense of entitlement. You understand? We should have, the Bible says, blessed is he that gives, that he that takes. I think our leaders always want to take. A lot of people always want to take. They don't want to give. You understand? They always want to take. That's why somebody will sit in a position, will always want to have an official car and always want to have all the entitlement. When, the vice chancellor of the university will want official car, will want all the benefits. Why the students don't even have furniture to sit in the classroom? Why the classroom doesn't even have a board? Why there are not even waters in the lavatories? So those are the kind of things that we see. We can see that it boils down to the human factor, not about the government. It's about myself. So if I do what is right and I have a good conscience, by the time I get to power, it takes someone with lack of altruism. Read my present post on the incoming head of Department of Anatomy. I wrote that to challenge his personality. If somebody is self-centered, there's no way that kind of person will be at the end of affairs and you think he's going to distribute resources evenly. So that's one of the major things we have, the major problems we have is the personality. It's not, someone said the other time that the government is not an alien. It is you and I. So if your person if you are not a glutton, if you look at the person that said he shares the little resources he has, imagine that kind of person in government. He will be able to distribute resources even. But imagine somebody, a colleague of mine that is going to be the next HOD now. In the last 6.5 years that he's been in that university, he had been almost everything. He has been the subdean. He has been presently an executive of Akada Cooperative. He has been in charge of the library. He has been in every training, any computer training in the school. He has won a grant from the school. So that kind of a person cannot be in government, and that government will move forward because he's self-centered, he's egocentric, he lacks altruism. Oh, look at that last person. He said only God knows how much he has in his hand. But he putting a smile on a family's face is more of his priority. And yet, he's not in the aim of affairs like some leaders that want to be praised because they don't buy a brand new car. Why we don't even have furniture in the classroom and they still want to be praised? And this is an institution where you are presiding over. So I think the personality of people in control of resources actually matter. Two, somebody that is a glutton who eat up the whole societal money or fund. Imagine somebody, accountant general, having such money, to himself. Some people have embezzled the pension fund. Some people embezzle money for education. Some people embezzle money for healthcare. Somebody embezzle money for power. I can't do such a thing. It's not about being a Christian or a Muslim or a religious person. How do I take what does not belong to me? Even in my school, when they overpay me, I return the money back to them because I know the error must have occurred somewhere. And how people could say that this guy doesn't need money or he does not fit Nigeria. That means a lot of errors like that must have been happening to people where they don't even return the money. At the end of the day, we're going to have rot in the system. As an academic, a lot of students, many students will fail, most students will fail, and the lecturer will still come forward to say he wants to get promoted, even while what is being paid for is not executing it. So those are the kind of things. So we need individualistic approach to things, because we are not going to sit at the market square and call everybody and say change. I just need to do what is right and sweep the front of my house. Likewise, you do also, and see whether the world is not going to be a clean place, whether the world is not going to be a perfect place. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. So, consequence to what Mr. Mickey said, Mr. Benjamin, said something which I think what summarizes it is that I think people should be kind of more altruistic than individualistic or ethical egoist or whatever it could be. That's very, very beautiful. Okay, Mufasa, you unmuted yourself. Do you want to add any contribution? Mr. Anyadad, is your audio okay now? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to show you guys something, because you know how we have people who make charms and do different juju and stuff like that, right? But they don't know this is the biggest juju right here. You see this? The biggest charm you will ever find is one of these things, and the white people have mastered this thing.
That's
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
They've mastered this thing, because what you guys may not understand yet, that I know very well because it's happened to us, is the real thing that's causing all of this. The mentality of the youth is that television, right? On that television, what they're doing is they're showing everybody that with all these artists, all this, like, they had a top song in Nigeria recently was called Dior. You got Davido making songs called Dolce and Gabbana and all these different stuff, right? These are literally the names of white people. Like literally, these are white designers who design European clothes, and you have our people praising these people, worshiping them, basically. You get what I'm saying? Dolce and Gabbana,
Yeah.
Dolce and Gabbana. You're worshiping these people, right? So now these people, these images that they're putting out there, all of the youth are watching these things, and they're putting billions of dollars. See, when Pepsi is a multi-billion-dollar multinational corporation. When Pepsi puts an advertisement with Davido on it, right? That's multi-billions of dollars behind a black man worshiping European products and all of this nonsense that has nothing to do with anything. Big cars, big jewelry, all this stuff that goes to Europe, right? We cannot we have to be very careful to watch that, because really these images are going to be the source of all your problems. These images are what making women go to prostitution. These images are why people are doing money rituals, because they feel like, I see a young man on TV with Dolce and Gabbana or whatever, all this other nonsense, and they feel like that is, if I'm not doing that, I'm useless, because they told the women, if your man's not doing this, he's useless. So we have to be very careful about our children's exposure to this media and to this youth. I don't agree with the Chinese the Communist Party in China on much things, or the CCP. But one thing I do agree with them, the best thing they've done out of everything is to set up the Great Firewall, where they control these images that are coming from these other foreign places, and they create their own internet environment in their country. That is the biggest thing they've done, right? They understand, listen, if you're going to come into us and influence our people, we're going to control how you influence it, and we're going to be a part of everything. But what does the black man do? The black man, oh, thank God, thank white Jesus, or not, nothing against Jesus, but thanks white God that we have Google now. Thank white God that we now have all these technological companies to come into our countries so they can influence our people and brainwash them to worship Dolce and Gabbana, to worship Gucci, to worship all these other white gods that have nothing to do with helping us. They have nothing to do. They don't give a damn about us. And when you look at our people, look at the gods they serve. You think they're Christians, Muslim, all of it? No, don't worry. Don't watch that. They are serving these people, most of them. They're serving these gods that say, consume, 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 give all your money to white people. Everything that a black man created is useless, so don't worry about it. So in the end of the day, do not underestimate this thing here.
Okay,
You think you've seen some charms in your tribe, in your village? No, this is the biggest charm. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Mufasa Shabazz. Well, that is a beautiful black piece you got there. Okay, all right. I think it's 2 hours 24 minutes, and I think we have come to the end of this discourse session. You should try follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you could tap on the notification bell. And also, if you have been with us during this session from the beginning or at the middle, can actually send your info, your name, probably what you do. You can send it to Discourse Oshun, DISCOURSE Oshun, OSUN, at gmail.com, I think. So we get the details so that you can just receive our invites to our discussions beforehand. So thank you everyone for joining.
Sorry, the video got frozen. Are you seeing anything?
Yes, we are actually rounding it all up and calling it a night. And,
okay, please send the link on the WhatsApp so we could.
All right, definitely I will. Definitely.
And please try add everybody that contributed today on the WhatsApp so we could
exactly.
have
exactly. So family. just send us your details via email, your WhatsApp as well. So we probably could just add you to the Ocean Open Space or the Open Space Discourse group. And that's it. So thank you everyone, and you have a good night.
Yeah, bye.